Alright guys, welcome back. We are in game number 2 in this qualifying match. Because it might be the last one, depending on how this game goes. At least here in the winner's bracket. Once again, I want to give a shout out to TING, guys. bttb.ting.com for $25 in credit. And of course, it's a good way to let them know that you came from us. But spawning in the upper right side of the map, he's hardly out of this tournament just yet. He does have a loser's bracket to fall back to after all. But right now, in the winners, he's on his last life. It's Dead Pixels Patience.
In the bottom left, as the red Terran, he's Ryung.
Oh, there's a bank heist going on. Oh, do I have any Partoofs?
You never have any Partoofs.
I know. Well, people donated a bunch the other day. Okay, I have like 10,000. Bank heist 3,000. This is why I don't have any Partoofs. I'm just like, oh, whoops, I spelled it wrong. There we go. This is why I don't have any Partoofs, because I frivolously just go maxed out on like bank heists all the time. Because we're still waiting. We're still waiting for that one bank heist where everybody dies because the bot blames Zombie Grub now.
Never gonna happen.
I can dream. All right, so
TVP.
It's funny because Ryung didn't do anything super sneaky, right? Like when we saw Patience, or sorry, excuse me, when we saw Reality play, like there was the barracks cancel, there was the faster factory, there was a lot of really cool stuff that went on in that game. This one wasn't so much sneaky as just it was a different build. It was something that really, truthfully, he wasn't expecting. And I don't think a lot of those come along often, and more so, I don't think a lot of those work twice.
We survived!
Oh my god, I got 5,700 Partoofs. Hype!
Yeah, so once again, we have that one base build. So hopefully he does like not get caught off guard, but he saw the factory last game too, and still was surprised, still went for the gold base, you know. And Orbital Shipyard still has a couple of places that are pretty good for drops.
So this is a dumb question, but I never thought to think about it when they were balancing things. Does the Adept damage drop off, that nerf that they recently got, the 1 damage nerf, does that affect how many... That doesn't affect how many hits it takes to kill a Hellion, right?
No.
No, okay. Yeah, I was thinking, like, what if, like, you know, there's Adepts in that situation, it says Stalkers, right? But I guess it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. I don't do this build. I'm not a Hellion user.
I know you're unfortunately like a pretty standard player. I don't have a good cheesy co-caster. You know, I did cast with Nate sometime. He does some dirty stuff.
He does some weird shit.
He does. Ghost pepper cheese hashtag. Actually, as far as this goes, though, like using Hellion to scout, even as silly as it sounds, you gotta imagine Patience sees a Hellion, like one Hellion, and kind of goes like, "Oh God, no, not again."
Ryung is changing up the build a little bit, and that is one thing you can give Patience, is that he couldn't have been sure what version of the build Ryung was doing, whether it was multiple Hellions, no Hellions, tank drop, you know, straight into Liberator, the medevac. Like there's 1-1-1 gives you a lot of different options. So that's the one thing I can say about last game, and another thing I can say about this game, you know, because he's still not sure what version it is. It is going to be pretty similar, though.
I mean, you see a lot of Marines moving out. The Adept catches some of that a little bit. That tank comes across the map, and this Hellion, it's not going to be super great, but it's going to soak hits, which is going to be nice.
It'll probably try and go around. There's a second Hellion, I believe. No? I thought I saw it on production tab. Nope. Even still, the Hellion might go...
It just finished.
Okay, the Hellion might go around and get into the probe line to start damaging, but it is mostly about this frontal attack yet again. Ryung just going for the throat. There's a pylon, but that'll go down quickly.
So I think, by the way, the upgrade actually does affect how many hits it takes to kill a Hellion.
How many?
Like, that Hellion's at 24 health. If the Adept hit again, it wouldn't have been enough to one-shot it. So I think it's like 6 instead of 5. Maybe? Question mark? I don't know. Someone do the math.
I'm not doing the math.
Not on stream, at least. Not publicly.
That's on you guys. What was that? The Hellion going down?
Yeah. So the tank's still alive and it's being shuffled around. Here comes that Liberator. This is where you start taking control of chokes like this. Like that Immortal now has to be very careful. Yeah. Barrier has been popped.
But, you know, keeping him off from a third base is all well and good. Only if Ryung had his natural, too. Like, this is still economically in favor of Patience, and he can actually, like, afford the time here to just defend. As you know, he doesn't need the third right now. And that's what he should do. Just focus on defending. Maybe try and get an adept across the map. They are a couple trying to catch reinforcements, but unfortunately they meet the Cyclone, not the Marines.
Yo, I did the math with the calculator. It would actually take 5 shots from the adept now instead of 4.
The more we know.
Yeah. All sorts of...
Knowledge is power.
It's like the larva also being affected by the upgrade. We're like, whoa, no way. Ugh.
Well, that one was the first thing I heard, even before I heard about the Marines. I don't know why. People give me the most useless facts.
Well, State jumped on that like the same day of the batch. We listened to State, so there you go. That makes sense. Double Liberators are causing a lot of pressure, and Ryung, as good as this looks, guys, keep in mind he is still on 1 base. So if he doesn't straight up like win with this, it's gonna cost him a lot on the back end through tech, through economy. So right now this looks really scary, and I can't say whether this will work or not because we don't see pushes like this often. But if it does work, then he'll have 2-0'd his way through the qualifiers. If it doesn't work, we're probably going to see game 3. The Immortal's going to come in and try and break this. The medevac picks up that tank immediately. So hard to disjoint those shots because Immortals, of course, connect instantly.
I believe you got the Cyclone, which I wondered where you would want to save more of the Cyclone or the tank, and I guess the tank has more, it can last longer and actually take a few hits because of that Cyclone. But that is a large Protoss army. A Liberator should get focus fire. They're doing a lot of damage, but it looks like he's going to be able to clean it up.
And he's breaking this too. What with the Immortal still alive? Anything on the ground doesn't stand a chance. The high ground vision has stripped away. Actually, the medevac's still going to fight some, but Ryung's not done yet. He's still got more units rallied in, but the fact that this already cleaned up once and now barriers coming off of cooldown, yeah, GG. Patience is going to tie it up on 1.
GG. Well, I don't know if this bodes well for Ryung. He did 2-1 trap, so I don't know if this is a similar best of 3 where first he does the 2 like 1-1-1 builds, and then maybe the third will actually be like a straight up macro game.
Yeah, that like I don't.
Thanks.
I know those great noises I just contributed. But I mean, like it is questionable. Like how does this third one go? I think the map is going to determine pretty heavily what that looks like.
Yeah. What's the map? Ruins of Suraz.
Okay, so this could actually be that long game. This could very viably go to the macro game for sure.
He might change up the build if he scouts quickly enough, like if it's vertical spawns. But if it's cross spawns, then I think you kind of have to go for the macro.
I'm really curious now. So like it's perhaps not the biggest deal in the world, but I do wonder like are there situations now where that extra depth shot on a Hellion could make or break a game?
I'm not sure, right? Because like it's important that they don't have to attack as often, but 5 is still a lot of shots. And the point is the adepts, they're not necessarily slow, right? They can shade, but their attack is so slow that I can imagine a lot of like those situations where like the Hellion is in range, like the wind up and then the Hellion runs away and it's just like, oh, I can't anymore. Like that happens so often with adepts.
Yeah, it's just it'd be very interesting to see as we continue casting more and more things, whether builds become tailored to that or abuse that or not. Either way, we are getting into game number 3. It's tied up 1-1, so if you're a Base Trade TV subscriber, I better see some ace matches in chat, guys. But, of course, this is the second qualifying match for the TING Open. If you guys missed it earlier, Reality did win his series over Blaze. So this could be the second Terran. This could be the first Protoss through the Korean qualifier. We'll find out after this game. As spawning in the bottom right side, it's going to be Dead Pixels, Blue Protoss, Patience.
And the top right, as the red Terran, it is Ryung.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit, like 2 steps past where we're currently at. We are, of course, casting the TING Korean qualifiers, and that's awesome and good. We do have plans to cast the IEM qualifiers happening today as well, but at the rate this is going, the losers bracket looks like it will bleed a little bit over into IEM time. So we won't be jumping into IEM right away. We are going to be finishing this tournament 100% fully through because we need to see who qualifies. Very, very important things. So for those of you who are looking for the IEM cast, and I know some of you are very much looking forward to it, I've seen some mention of it in chat, we will be covering that. It will just come a little bit later than expected.
Yeah. That's what we did yesterday, though. Cast at 1 p.m. We didn't really miss any very important games. Might come in at 2 p.m.
But man, I was so stressed about that. For those who don't know, the reason we started the cast yesterday is like I woke up and my tongue was like swollen, like I could not talk. And it still feels not so super amazing today, but I went Googling and I'm like what makes your tongue swollen, right? Like you don't get a cold or anything like that and it happens. I was worried I was like having a reaction or something. I still don't know what caused it. It's got me a little bit paranoid.
So I'd say that like an allergic reaction, but all right. So,
Someone fed me like copious amounts of peanuts in my sleep. I'm not allergic, but after eating so many, now I am.
nom, 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 nom. Yeah, this is interesting. So first of all, Ryung did not scout where Patience was. So this build is not determined off of the spawn locations. Although for Ryung, it's going to coincidentally be pretty good if he goes for a drop. So nice for Ryung. But the proxy from Patience is also a little interesting because it's still like a little far off. I'm guessing it's gonna be a Stargate.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Yeah, there you go.
See a couple of proxy dark shrines lately, but yeah, it makes more sense. So, what's awkward about the proxy Stargate is that if Patience is going to see the lack of a command center, he might still get a Phoenix, just anticipating Ryung's similar build to the last 2 games.
Yeah, sorry, this is totally off topic. I just realized something with the losers bracket though. This is actually, I think, a very important base trade TV related fact. Right now is about the time-ish when the Elima League finals would begin, right? You look at all the players left at this point who didn't forfeit.
League finals would begin?
Like if we're casting the Elima League, right? Right
Yeah.
around now, 8 a.m. Pacific,
Oh,
this is usually when the finals would start.
I thought you meant the monthly finals.
No,
Okay,
no,
yes, you're correct.
So in the bottom half of the bracket, you see all the players who don't normally compete in the Elima League forfeiting out. The players that are left, Sulky and Symbol, Hyun, etc., Ryung possibly in this case, these are guys who play the Elima League normally, and it just feels like that's so intertwined. Like they're used to playing this hour for this tournament, for these qualifiers. Like this is nothing new for them.
No, it's not.
But
It's so great about having friendlies.
Yeah, there's everyone else who forfeited.
Yeah.
That Widow Mine just got a huge hit, by the way. 9
nice.
kills. I
was
saw
really
that
nice.
explode. I didn't realize that was 9 kills deep, though. Jesus.
What happened with the Stargate, though? He got an Oracle. It is okay. There it goes into the main base.
It's
Speak of the
payback.
devil.
So,
Yes, a lot of payback.
But this has got Hellions with it. The Overcharge is gone. I feel like the Hellions are way more dangerous than the Oracle in this instance.
The Oracle is taking so long to die to a Liberator. Jesus Christ.
Well, that is going to run out of juice would be the difference of the two.
Yeah, I just can't believe it. Like, it ran out of juice before the Liberator could get like any damage done on it.
Okay, so
There it goes. Finally goes down.
I don't know that Patience would tap out of this, right? Because Patience knows he's a base ahead. He also knows, well, he's actually got no way to deal with the Widowman. I take that back.
Yeah, with the Oracle dying and not enough money to quite get another one.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. A
Wow,
lot more abrupt
okay.
than I thought it was gonna be, but it makes sense. GG. Ryung will be our second player through, and a Terran to boot. So racial distribution so far not bad. 2 Terrans, 2 Zerg, and 1 Protoss.